friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the phone today is Jack Myers with Social Security. Good morning, Jack. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Seth. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. How's your summer going? Is it off to a good start, you think?
It is, yeah. I don't know about you, but we have the cicadas in full force around my neighborhood. So
Really?
That's been interesting.
You know, it's funny. This has been an interesting conversation piece this summer because here, at least in Clinton, from what I have seen and experienced, it's not bad. In fact, it like you wouldn't even know there's a cicada issue if you only lived in Clinton, from my perspective. However, I went to a ball game. I did a ball game in Decatur a few weekends ago, and it was crazy. They were just swarming the place, and they the netting behind home plate, right? So they were congregating on that, just flocking to that. And anytime a foul ball would hit that netting, the ripple effect, they would all go flying. It was another swarm. It was just crazy. Like the game had to be stopped multiple times because kids had cicadas on their arms or their bats or their helmets or their gloves. I mean, it was insane.
It is weird how localized they are, and I never really realized that, but it's like that around here too. You know, in my neighborhood they're bad, and here at the office I don't even see them.
Well, and the other thing is, I've heard they like noise. So you must live in a loud neighborhood, Jack. You got some rowdy neighbors down there?
Just the cicadas.
No, but in all seriousness, it's crazy. You said it best. It's crazy how localized it is for sure. But yeah, that'll probably be the highlight of the summer for a lot of folks, or for some folks, is just the cicada talk, most definitely. Speaking of talk, Jack, let's dive into some pretty good topics you've got here on the agenda for this morning, and let's start with food assistance no longer counting as an in-kind support and maintenance for those SSI or supplemental security income purposes. How about this? What's this all about?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is a change that was recently announced. It's coming later this year. Basically, this has to do with our Supplemental Security Income Program, SSI. That program provides monthly payments to adults and children with a disability or blindness, but also to adults who are age 65 and older. It's a needs-based program, which just really means that in order to qualify, a person must have limited income and resources. The program helps people pay for basic needs, things like rent, food, clothing, medicine. And because it's a needs-based program, there's no requirement of a prior work history to qualify for SSI. But another thing that's important to note, Seth, about that program is that the SSI benefits, while we administer the program at Social Security offices, the money that pays for the program is not paid from the Social Security Trust Fund. So it's still tax dollars. It's still from, federal taxes that people pay, but it's not the Social Security tax. So I like to differentiate there and help people kind of understand the difference between the SSI program and the Social Security program. So this change that's coming has to do with something we call in-kind support and maintenance. Basically, because SSI is a needs-based program, if somebody is receiving assistance from another person to help them pay for their food, their clothing, their shelter, things like that, traditionally we've counted that as in-kind support and maintenance. It counts as a type of income, and it affects your SSI eligibility. So what was recently announced is that beginning September 30th, 2024, we will no longer count food assistance that someone gives you as income when we're figuring SSI payments. So if someone's giving you money towards food, in other words, that's not going to count as in-kind support and maintenance. We're not going to consider that income, and it's going to change eligibility. It's going to help people be eligible for the SSI program. So that, again, is a change that's coming September 30th. We'll still be counting rent. If someone's providing you with free room and board, we're still going to count that as income, but we're not going to count food assistance that people are getting. And again, that's going to start 9/30/24. For more info on the SSI program, including who's eligible and how to apply, of course, you can check our website, which is at ssa.gov/SSI. It'll take you straight to info about that SSI program.
Is this a barrier to folks getting or being eligible for those SSI benefits, Jack?
Yes, it certainly is. The fact that food assistance affects eligibility is a barrier at the present, and that will be something that's nice to see. That barrier will be removed once we stop counting that food assistance later this year. So yeah, I would say it is, and this recent announcement will be removing that barrier.
Easy enough. Did we miss anything there, Jack?
No, I think we hit all the key ones.
Easy enough. Jack Meyer, Social Security, our guest on the phone here for this morning. Jack, let's talk. I want to jump down a little bit here and talk about Social Security launching an online performance tracker for customer service priorities. What's this all about? What are you guys doing with this?
Yeah, so that's something that's really interesting to me. I've been with Social Security for quite a long time, and I've never seen anything like this. But our commissioner, Martin O'Malley, has recently been talking about his top 3 customer service priorities, and he's identified those as reducing wait times on our national 800 number, which is 1-800-772-1213. He's talked about issuing disability determinations faster being one of his priorities, and then also addressing overpayment and underpayment injustices. And there are a lot of things that go into the service that we provide at Social Security, and it's always been a goal to provide a high level of service, but there are issues, of course, that can interfere with that. Right now, over 70 million people depend on Social Security benefits, and millions more reach out each year for other services like requesting a new Social Security card, for example. While we're dealing with this large number of people, we're experiencing things like an increase in that number, but we're also experiencing less operating funds per customer that we deal with and fewer employees. So what is kind of interesting here to me is that recently we've put something on our website called Security Stat. So it's, as you alluded to, it's an online tracker that gives performance details on different things that Commissioner O'Malley has kind of identified as priorities. Some things that you can find statistics now on our website on are the 800 number performance, average processing time for disability determinations, and average processing time for retirement, survivor, or Medicare claims. So it's really interesting to be able to just go to our website at ssa.gov, scroll down to Security Stat, and then find these statistics. You can see information about our staffing levels historically and currently. You can see that information about the wait time on the 800 number. You can see the average processing time for disability determinations, and it's broken out by state because in each state, the State Disability Determination Service makes the disability decisions for us. So it's a little different situation in each state, and you can see that on that Security Stat tracker. So that's just really interesting, like I said, to me, to have all that data readily available right there at your fingertips. And you can track, like it said, the online performance tracker, you can track how we're doing in these key areas and kind of get a real good feel for where we're at on those things. Again, that's ssa.gov, and then just scroll down and look for Security Stat, and you'll find all that great information.
Very good. Hey, Jack, let's spend a few minutes talking about top baby names from 2023. I know this is an annual conversation for you and I. Let's dive into it.
Yeah, it is something usually right around Mother's Day. Typically the Friday before Mother's Day, the information comes out, and then you and I will pick up on it at some point in the summer, usually right around now. We'll talk about it. It's interesting. It's something that we put out. People like it. It's kind of one of our busiest times of year on our website. Drives a lot of traffic to the socialsecurity.gov website. we've got a lot of different info. You can see the top 10 boys and girls names of 2023 for the U.S. You can also see state-specific lists, so you can go in there and see how Illinois or any other states differ from national naming trends. You can do things like check the historical popularity of a specific name. So it's really kind of fun. I know when my wife and I were expecting our children, we used this. We kind of just went to the site to look at the different names and get some ideas. It's kind of fun. You might choose that you want to kind of go with a popular name for your child, or you might want to go the other direction. You might want a more unpopular name, so they kind of stand out and be a little bit more unique in their class. It's really up to you how you want to do that. But this baby name site is a great way to find it. So just go to Social Security or SSA.gov, and then once you're there, look for baby names, search baby names, you'll find it, you'll see all that info. You might wonder, why do we keep track of this information? It's really not hard. I mean, through the process of issuing Social Security numbers, we know it. We have it. It's right there, and people like it, so we put it out there so you can see it.
Well, and Jack, to kind of dive into the names themselves, it seems like the top names are staying the same year to year. I don't know if the order is the same, but gosh, there's a lot of recognizable names that I've seen in the past at the top of these lists.
Yeah, that's true. It does seem like the trends move slowly in terms of, if you look at the overall top names. What's kind of interesting is the ability to search a specific name. So, obviously I did a little homework coming in, and I put your name and my name in the tracker just to see where we were. So if I look back go from like 1980 to present, and I look at the name Seth, back in 1980, it was number 99 on the list. For 2023, number 524. And you can see every year between there, and you can go back further if you want. For my own name, the trend is kind of the opposite direction. So if I look back to, let's go all the way back to 1980, number 158, but 2023, it was number 14. So it is kind of interesting to just put a specific name in and see the trends. And it's pretty cyclical. It's like the names will kind of ebb and flow in popularity, but, a lot of them just kind of all kind of stay. We're using a lot of the same names, but they just kind of go up and down in popularity. And then you'll see some certain things if you look at our press release on the baby names that came out. It's in SSA.gov in the press release section, but there are certain names that are kind of influenced by pop culture, so that's kind of interesting to see from time to time. Who knows? Maybe my name has become more popular because of a certain TV show that was on, for several years that had the This Is Us show, and the dad was named Jack. I don't know. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Sure, for sure. Well, interesting stuff to take a look at, Jack. Again, where do folks go to find that data and just kind of poke around, see what's in there?
Yeah, so go to our website at ssa.gov. Once you're there, you can search baby names. While you're there, if you haven't already done it, you might as well set up a My Social Security account for yourself too, because you'll get a lot more good info that's maybe a little bit more useful if you're not expecting a child in the near future.
Easy enough. Jack, let's break here, my friend. Come back with some more. Jack Meyer, Social Security, our guest on the phone. More to come with Jack on The Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network. We start the day in the green with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. July corn opening 445, up 5 3/4. September corn up 5 1/4, 451. December new crop 464, up a nickel. July beans starting the day 1187 3/4, up 10 1/2. August beans up 10 1/4, 1184 1/2, and new crop November 1160 3/4, up 10 1/4. July wheat 649 1/4, up 2 1/2. September wheat up 2 1/2, 671, and December wheat up 2 1/4, 697 1/4. July bean meal opening at $3.61 even. That's up $1.50. And July bean oil, $44.21, up $1.08. Opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Here's owner Dave Jackson at your Clinton Save-A-Lot Fighting Inflation 2024.
I look at every cost increase, every suggested retail price, and many times I'll go with the suggested, it depends, or I'll not go up as much, won't go up at all. I just can't raise things as fast as the market is going. I can't do that, and I look at that and go, how can we sell this for this retail? This is crazy.
Dave fights inflation every day at your Clinton Save-A-Lot.
Hope to see you soon.
Hi, this is Connie at Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton. This month, our whole store is on sale because your total purchase is 10% off. Come check out our huge selection of adult, kids, and summer clothes. And remember, everything is 10% off. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or DivaDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate. It's greening up out there.
Time to work on my golf game.
And a perfect time to make that big move.
Like when my ball moves towards that tree. Oh, geez. 4.
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Call Utterback Real Estate or click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Jack Myers with Social Security, my guest on the phone today. Jack, let's talk about representative payees helping manage your Social Security. I know we talk about this program from time to time. What do you have for us today with this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always important to discuss it because it's one of those things like so many others, right? You hear it, but maybe it doesn't really connect or resonate with you when you don't have a need for it, or someone in your family doesn't have a need for it. So, basically our representative payee program is something for people who receive monthly Social Security or SSI benefits but need help managing their money. People get benefits from our programs for a variety of different reasons. Sometimes it's because of disability, sometimes it's because of retirement, sometimes it's because a loved one has passed away. And we see anyway, people who are, at various stages of their lives. So at some point, for a lot of people, there becomes a point where they need assistance with the day-to-day finances. And that's what this representative payee program can help out with. When we receive information that indicates you need help managing your finances, we'll work with you to help you find the most suitable representative payee to manage benefits. Your payee is going to be someone who receives the monthly benefit on your behalf, and then they're required to use that money to pay for your current needs. So, ideally, this is going to be someone that you trust, of course, and then someone who's going to see you on a regular basis and be in position to easily help you with your current needs. And if there's not an individual who can do this, sometimes organizations will serve that role. Maybe we're talking about social service agencies or nursing homes or others, but, hopefully there's an individual in your life that can do it. If not, then, we'll have to look to these organizations and see if there's someone there that could do it. But it is something that is very important for folks. And, it's important that you know that program exists, the representative payee program, so that if you have a need, we can help you figure out who would be best suited to be that payee.
Very good. Well, Jack, in terms of just more on this topic, what did we miss here that you want to put out there for us today?
Well, basically, I kind of covered what would happen if you recognize that you need a representative payee, but of course that's not how life always works. It's not always a linear progression where you're going to need a payee. So there are a lot of times where you may not recognize or be able to recognize that you need a payee. And in those circumstances, typically a family member or an organization would apply to be your payee. And then we at Social Security would seek evidence that a payee is needed. That would be potentially a conversation with you Maybe it's going to be something that we send to your doctor to find out what they think about whether or not you need a payee. But if that's how this is going to go down, then we would notify you before the change takes place. And then even after the change took place, you could contact us to dispute it if you don't feel it was warranted or if you would prefer a different payee. There's also something it's not new, Seth, but it's relatively new. It's only been around for a few years, but it's called advanced designation. So what that is it's an opportunity for you to designate a person or multiple people that you would trust to serve as your payee should a need ever arise. And, typically that'll come up when you apply for your benefits. So when you first apply for benefits, you'll be offered that opportunity to designate someone or a couple people who could be payee for you down the road should you need it. You can also make changes to those designations through your My Social Security account, so ssa.gov/myaccount, or by calling or visiting us at a local office. So, something could have changed and maybe you don't want that person to be your designee anymore. You could go ahead and change that at any time. It's optional. And I think another thing that's important to note about advanced designation is it does not indicate that you want or need a payee now. So sometimes people get a little bit concerned by that. It merely gives us a few people that we could reach out to down the road if we ever find out that you need a payee and you're not in a position to tell us who we should contact. So again, that's advanced designation. It's part of the payee program, and you can find out all about the payee program on our website at ssa.gov/payee.
Easy enough. Jack, in our final minute together, give us a quick rundown of with the vacation time upon us, accessing Social Security on the go. Give us a minute of this one.
Yep, absolutely. Vacation season is a great season for so many people. It gives us some time to slow down. So, we might have a little bit more time to do things that we don't do in our normal day-to-day. So if you do find yourself with a little extra time on vacation, don't forget that you can do your business online at ssa.gov. So take a few minutes in the morning, as long as you're on a secure connection. I would be a little bit hesitant if you're on some kind of free Wi-Fi, but if you're on a secure connection and you find yourself with a few extra minutes some morning this summer, go to ssa.gov, set up your My Social Security account, and see what all you can do, because there are a lot of things like you can apply for benefits, you can change information if you need to, you can review your earnings record, just a lot of good stuff you can do there at ssa.gov. And vacation early in the morning while everybody else is still sleeping is a great time to get that done.
Jack Myers, Social Security, our guest on the phone on the morning show today. Network news comes your way next.
WHOW.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, 92.3 FM W222 BG Clinton, 106.5 FM W293D.